You have to understand that what you choose to eat before bed is not simply a matter of satisfying hunger. It's a biological signal. Your body interprets that final meal of the day as information about the environment you're living in. And depending on what that information looks like, whether it's balanced and stable or chaotic and overloaded, your body will respond accordingly throughout the night. Now think about what typically happens in the evening. The day winds down, discipline fades a little, and the kitchen suddenly becomes a place of comfort. Maybe it's a bowl of sugary cereal, a few cookies, or a late-night snack loaded with refined carbohydrates. It feels harmless in the moment, but metabolically, it sends a powerful message to your system. When you flood your bloodstream with fast-digesting sugars right before sleep, your body is forced to respond quickly. Insulin rises sharply to manage the glucose. And then, during the night, your body may compensate by releasing additional glucose through the liver. The result is something many people experience without realizing why. You wake up in the morning with elevated blood sugar levels. But here's the fascinating part. A small shift in your evening nutrition can completely change that biological conversation. When your final meal contains a balanced combination of protein, healthy fats, and fiber, foods that digest slowly and steadily, you create metabolic stability. Protein supports muscle repair and helps moderate glucose release. Healthy fats slow digestion and prevent sudden spikes. Fiber stabilizes absorption and keeps blood sugar from rising too quickly. And what that means is that while you sleep, your body is no longer scrambling to correct a metabolic disturbance. Instead, it moves into a state of regulation and repair. Blood sugar stays more stable, hormones behave more predictably, and the system works the way it was designed to work. But this also points to something deeper than nutrition alone. It speaks to the principle of intentionality. The small decisions you make at the end of the day are not isolated events. They are signals that shape tomorrow. In a very real sense, the discipline you exercise at night becomes the foundation of the morning you wake up to. So if you want to lower your morning blood sugar, start by respecting the quiet power of that final meal. Choose stability over impulse. Because what you do before sleep doesn't just affect the night behind you. It determines the morning ahead of you. There's another remarkably simple action that many people overlook, and yet it has a profound effect on what happens to your blood sugar overnight. It's movement, not intense exercise, not an exhausting workout, but a small, deliberate act of physical movement after your evening meal. You see, your muscles play a critical role in regulating glucose. In fact, they are one of the primary places where glucose from your bloodstream is stored and used for energy. But here's the interesting part. When your muscles contract, even through light activity, they begin to absorb glucose more efficiently. It's almost as if movement opens a door, allowing excess sugar in the bloodstream to move into the muscles where it can actually be used. Now consider the alternative, which is unfortunately the pattern many people fall into. Dinner is finished, and within minutes they sit down, perhaps on the couch, perhaps scrolling on a phone, maybe watching television. The body becomes almost completely still. And when the body is still, the muscles are inactive. That means glucose remains circulating in the bloodstream longer than it should. Over time, that contributes to the elevated blood sugar levels many people notice the next morning. But the solution doesn't require a dramatic lifestyle overhaul. Something as simple as a 10-minute walk after dinner can change the entire metabolic trajectory of the evening. A gentle walk around the block, a bit of light stretching, even moving around the house doing small tasks. These actions signal to the body that energy should be used rather than stored excessively. And there's something psychologically meaningful about this as well. When you intentionally move after eating, you're reinforcing a principle of responsibility toward your own physiology. Instead of passively letting habits dictate the outcome, you take a small, conscious step to guide the process. It's also important to remember that the body evolved in an environment where movement after eating was normal. Our ancestors didn't finish a meal and immediately collapse into stillness. They continued walking, working, interacting with their environment. That natural rhythm supported metabolic balance in ways we often forget in modern life. So the lesson here is both biological and philosophical. A few minutes of movement may seem trivial in the moment, but the body responds to those small signals in powerful ways. When you move after dinner, you're not just taking a walk, you're actively guiding your metabolism toward stability. And the truth is this: sometimes the smallest actions, repeated consistently, become the difference between waking up in control of your health, or waking up wondering why things keep getting worse. Now there's another layer to this that people often underestimate, and it might actually be the most powerful one of all. It has to do with sleep, specifically the quality of the sleep you're getting and the state of your mind before you drift off. Because your body does something remarkable during the night. While you're sleeping, an intricate hormonal system is quietly regulating energy, repairing tissues, and preparing you for the next day. But that system is extremely sensitive to stress. And when stress levels remain high late into the evening, the body interprets that as a signal that something in the environment is wrong. One of the primary hormones involved here is cortisol, often called the stress hormone. When cortisol rises at night, whether due to mental tension, poor sleep habits, or constant stimulation from screens and digital noise, the body shifts into a more defensive biological state. In that state, the liver begins releasing additional glucose into the bloodstream. From an evolutionary perspective, that makes sense. Your body assumes you may need quick energy to deal with a threat. But here's the problem in modern life: the threat isn't physical. It's psychological. It's the endless stream of emails, notifications, worries about tomorrow, and the habit of scrolling through bright screens long after the sun has gone down. The body doesn't distinguish between a real external danger and the internal tension we carry in our minds. The physiological response is the same. So if your nervous system stays activated late into the evening, your blood sugar regulation can become disrupted throughout the night. And that's one of the hidden reasons many people wake up with elevated glucose levels even if they ate reasonably well the night before. What helps is intentionally creating a transition into sleep. A quieter environment, dimmer lights, stepping away from screens, maybe reading a few pages of a book, taking slow breaths, or simply allowing the mind to slow down. These actions might seem small, but they send a powerful signal to the nervous system that the day is ending and it's safe to shift into recovery mode. And when the nervous system relaxes, the hormonal environment changes with it. Cortisol settles, insulin sensitivity improves, the body moves into the deep restorative processes that healthy sleep is meant to provide. So remember this: the state of your mind before sleep becomes the biological environment your body operates in all night long. Calm the mind, and you calm the chemistry of the body. And in many ways, that quiet discipline before bed is not just about better sleep. It's about taking responsibility for the kind of morning you're going to wake up to.